What is up, you guys? Glitchiz here, coming at you with another Dauntless video. But first, if you enjoy quality gaming content or informational videos like the one I'm posting today, you can consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And if you find today's video informative, then be sure to smash that like button as always and comment down below. I appreciate all of your guys' feedback. Helps me make content you guys actually want to watch and makes me a better content creator. But with that being said, in today's video, I wanted to go over all the killer updates that just got posted on the roadmap. A lot of interesting details that haven't been talked about at all yet, and answers a lot of the big questions that some of my commenters and people in my Discord have been asking for months now. So let's jump right into it. First and foremost, in the backlog, unfortunately, the elite fauna have been put on the back burner. The goal here is to populate our environments with a diverse set of vicious wildlife. Unfortunately, we have currently put the elite fauna on hold as we focus on the Heroes of Ostia season, which aims to enrich combat outside of fauna. We may return to this idea in the future, but for now, it will live in the backlog. So yes, that might be a little disappointing, but once you hear the other news about this season of Ostia and everything that's coming with the 1.7 series of patches, it's pretty crazy, and I'd rather have that stuff than the elite fauna, trust me. But moving on, the current live stuff, you guys already know this. It's the current Infinite Radiance season. We had the Slayer's Cub and reward updates, as well as the Trials rework. But once we get into the testing section, that's where this stuff starts getting a little interesting. So the first update we had here is, obviously, if you guys haven't seen this, the 1.6.x roadmap. This is all the updates coming with the next couple patches, and we will go a little bit more in depth in these next few little sections here. Feel free to pause this and look at it. But moving on, we have the Chronovore. Did you hear that, Slayer? That's the sound of a new behemoth coming to the Shattered Isles. The updated information says the Chronovore will launch in 1.6.3, which we just saw in the roadmap. That is going to be the new Radiant Behemoth. Find them in a brand new Hunting Grounds island. This new behemoth will have its own craftable armor set, weapons, and unique effect. First, collect Chrono Stones from Elder and Primal Behemoth encounters. So right now, we have the Primal Behemoth encounters, which are the 4 suppressor pillar fights that you have to do randomly throughout the lower to mid-tier Hunting Ground islands. Basically, the Elder Behemoths, which we'll go over in a minute, is going to be the next patch Behemoth encounter that we're going to run into. And I'll go over it in a minute. Take these Chrono Stones to the Temple Ruins area of the Paradox Breaks, the brand new Hunting Grounds island. So the Paradox Breaks is going to be a new Hunting Ground island, and summon the Chronovore. Once they're called, anyone in the Hunting Ground can come fight the beast. So by the sounds of it, it looks like it's going to be an open battle, like world boss, basically, where anyone in the Hunting Grounds, as soon as someone puts in enough Chrono Stones, will summon this Keystone Behemoth, and everyone can come in and fight it. So that's pretty cool. But it also says, but beware, time is not on your side. So I'm curious if it's going to be a timed event, and that might make the mechanics of it a little bit interesting. So really cool update there. And now we have an official name for the Keystone Behemoth. Moving on, Hunting Ground Portals got an update. Portals will be launching in 1.6.2, which we just saw on the mini roadmap. Collect portal keys from Keystone Behemoths in escalation as random drops. Then you use these keys on portal devices located in the Hunting Grounds on Hades Reach, Razor Cliff Isle, and Twilight Sanctuary. Jump in the open portal to be transported directly to the Keystone Behemoths. So you do have to do some initial escalation runs to just build up a stockpile of these keys. But once you have a bunch, you can just instantly teleport to these Keystone Behemoth fights without having to go through an entire escalation run to get to them. So really cool. The other interesting thing is, once a portal is open, any Slayer can pass through to the other side. Defeat the behemoth before the danger meter reaches 100%, or else the behemoth will flee. So that is the only difference compared to fighting the Keystone Behemoths within the escalations, is now, because it's in the Hunting Grounds, it does have a danger meter. So if it reaches 100% and everyone's messing up, it will flee and you won't be able to get the kill on it. This is just the first step with our new portal tech. We can't wait to explore different experiences in the future. Moving on, we have the Elder Behemoths. Now this is the other new behemoth hunt event within the Hunting Grounds that are going to be replacing, well, not replacing, going to be added to as an additional type of event with the Primal Behemoths. Primal Behemoths invaded the hunting grounds in 1.6.0. These behemoths are from the Shattered Isles' distant past, but what powers lurk in the future? Elder Behemoths will be traveling back in time to the hunting grounds in patch 1.6.2. That's our next coming patch. These behemoths protect themselves using floating chunks of etheric armor. Slayers will need to aim their attacks well to find their exposed flesh. Now, I've kind of gotten a sneak peek of this and it looks really cool. We don't have to worry about pillars this time around, but for the Elder Behemoths, there is almost an electrified barrier with like barrier plating that randomly revolves around the behemoths now that blocks certain weak points given its location. So you have to constantly be on the move and be rotating around the behemoth to break the certain parts and reach the certain weak points that you want. So it's a really cool mechanic, and I think it's going to add a lot of variety to the just typical generic fight, sort of like the Primal Behemoths did. So I'm really interested to see what you guys think of that. It looks really cool. Moving on, here is a big answer for a even bigger question that you guys have been giving me. We want to add an additional option for Slayers who aren't quite ready for the complete Reforge. That's why we're adding the option to turn 200 Aether Sparks into an Aether Heart. This feature will be live in the Aether Forge in patch 1.6.2, which is our next upcoming patch. Now, for those of you that don't know, currently, right now, in the reward cache, you can spend all of your coins, if you so choose, on 100 or 200 stacks of Aether Sparks. So if you've already unlocked everything in the reward cache like I have, you can pretty much just bank all of your extra coins for the entire rest of the season and dump it into Aether Sparks. And once this new patch drops, you'll be getting a free Aether Heart. Well, not free, you'll be getting an Aether Heart for every 200 sparks that you put in. And I have like over 1,000 plus sparks just lying around. So that's like a ton of extra Aether Hearts we're going to be getting to allow us to power surge our gear a lot more easily. So really excited about that update. I know you guys have been waiting for that for a long time. And then last but not least, Hunt Pass 21. This is the next Hunt Pass that's coming, the second part of this season. And the next Hunt Pass focuses on the purest expression of Radiant Aether. There will be 2 variants of this new armor set, one Wicked and one Divine. So it looks like it's going to be a high quality visual effects armor set, just like the one we got in this season pass. But now we're going to have 2 unique variations. Here's a little sneak peek of it, but pretty cool there. Moving on, and it only gets better from here. In production, we obviously have the heroic escalations. Didn't have a big update to this, so pretty much the same thing. That'll be coming in a not too distant patch as well. But here in the concept phase, the distant future is where we get to see some of the really cool stuff. So, Heroes of Ostia season. The 1.6.0 to 1.7.0 was the Infinite Radiance season. This encompassed everything that was released under the 1.6 set of patches, including the Chronovore and new environment in the hunting grounds, as well as the Warpike rework and the Trials rework, etc. This is all the 1.6 stuff that we're currently in right now that they're talking about. The 1.7 series of patches will be thematically tied to Ostia. Expect another slew of content over numerous patches, each one aiming to enrich Dauntless's combat experience. Anything tagged in this roadmap with the Heroes of Ostia tag will land in a future 1.7.x patch. Come back in the future for more details. So if we continue on, next thing down is the Ostia hunting grounds. A new location will be added to the hunting grounds in the Heroes of Ostia season. So this is on top, another location of the one that they're adding for the Radiant Behemoth. Expect more details on that in the future. So it looks like we're getting another location that we can go to. So really cool there. Here is a big one. Weapon refreshes. Like we did with the Warpike, we want to return to a couple of weapons and increase their viability. This means making some of our classic weapons more engaging and breathing new life into their mechanics. We'll let you know which ones we've selected in the near future. So we don't know for sure, but if I had to guess, I would say that if they're doing multiple, at least one of them will probably be the repeaters, because as I'm sure you guys know, if it's based around Ostian themes and Ostian lore, Admiral Zai in Ramsgate, who is part of the Ostian faction, is the repeaters vendor. So it would make sense to me if repeaters was one of the weapons that they reworked, and they've been mentioning that they wanted to rework it for a little while now. So sounds like we're going to be getting a couple of weapons updated, but I would think ideally that the repeaters would get some love on that one if it's tying in with the lore and stuff. Moving on, it still goes. Here's another huge one. Subclasses. We want to add more depth to Dauntless's combat system. At this time, we're exploring the idea of subclasses as a way to shake up the current meta. These classes would allow for every Slayer to have additional options in the heat of battle that would define their role in combat. The goal of this is to have more differentiation between player builds. Subclasses are still in early development and we'll have more information soon. It's also the temporary name, so it may be named something else. But just the idea of subclasses would add so much variety to the game. Like picture like a legitimate paladin build where you could do a ton of tanky damage but also have some healing abilities on the side, or like an assassin type subclass where you get like maybe bonus burst damage but you take more damage type of thing. There's so many variations that you can potentially do with subclasses. That's why all the biggest MMOs, I'm getting an update, have subclasses in the game because it adds so much variety. So really excited about that idea. We'll see what they do with it. Moving on, here is another big one, and this one is probably my #1 most asked question in all my videos. Exotic gear resurfaces. Exotic gear is returning to Dauntless. Seek out lore nodes in the hunting grounds to unlock the path to exotic blueprints from the past. So looks like, by the sounds of it, the exotics will be returning with the Ostian season in the 1.7 series of patches. And apparently we're going to be getting a new set of lore nodes similar to the ones that I've made previous videos for. I'll probably make another one to unlock these because they'll be even more important now. That'll be like randomly scattered throughout the hunting grounds, and when you find them, it will unlock the path to finding these blueprints for your exotic weapons for those of you that don't have them yet. That's kind of how it happened before. It was just straight RNG. You would randomly get the exotic blueprint as a drop from a behemoth. Now it looks like it's going to be tied to some new lore elements, so that's really cool, and I'm glad that they're doing that. And I'm sure it's going to be a rumor type quest, multiple steps type of thing, but still, now we know within the 1.7 series, potentially a little after, they are going to be coming back, and it sounds like they've got a halfway decent plan for it. Moving on, new behemoth. The Chronovore is nearly upon us, and we've already begun work on the next behemoth. Stay tuned for fiery future updates as we draw closer to the Heroes of Ostia season. So, by the sounds of it, we've got the Chronovore, which they've already started working on, but with the new season, we potentially have the opportunity to see another new behemoth, whether it's a new keystone or potentially a new regular behemoth, which I think we really need as well. So, tons and tons of new updates. Thunderdeep Drask. We've returned to work on the one, the only Thunderdeep Drask. Not sure where this came from. I think it was from an old limited time event, like bigger version of Drask that they had. Looks like they're looking back into that. So that could be a potential for another cool event that we have to look forward to. And then last but not least, no updates here, but again, it is still in progress. We have our big cells 2.0. They plan on revamping all that to make all the new cells more viable. But yeah, man, tons of new information, all really exciting. The Heroes of Ostia season is probably going to be one of my favorite themed seasons thus far. I always liked the lore behind the Ostian faction. And we also, sooner than later, have the Chronovore and the portals coming in our next upcoming patches. So, ton of exciting stuff. But yeah, if you guys found this video informative, if you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below. I appreciate all of your guys' feedback. And as always, if you're not already a member of the Discord, be sure to click those links, join the Glitch Gang. We're an awesome group of people, always looking for new Slayers to hunt with. Hopefully we see you guys around. That being said, hope you guys had a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Also, if you're looking to join a killer community of like-minded gamers, then be sure to click the link in the description and join the Glitch Gang Discord server. We continue to grow every day, and it's filled with all your favorite game discussion channels, as well as several LFG channels to help you find that perfect group for your next hunt or raid. Lastly, if you're new to the channel and want to keep up to date with all my future content, then consider hitting that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Hope you all had a great day, and I will catch you on the next one.